Hey there, I'm an early childhood consultant and I'm here to share with you 7 tips to promote language with infants. Tip number 1, describe things that you're doing as you do them. For example, I'm getting your lunch ready now. Okay, I'm getting the applesauce out. I'm putting it on the table. I'm getting the bowls. I'm putting them on the table. I'm pouring the applesauce. Another example may be, okay, I'm standing up now. I'm walking towards the sink. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm turning on the water. I'm getting the soap. Tip number 2, describe what children are doing as they're doing it. An example of this is, oh, Milo, you're lifting your arm up. Now you're putting your arm down. Another example would be, oh, Sarah, you're crawling towards the books. You can think of tip 1 and 2 kind of like you're a sports broadcaster on the radio. When you listen to a sports game on the radio, you can't actually see what's happening, but you know everything that's happening because the broadcaster is saying it all out loud. They're describing the events that are happening. And that's what tip 1 and tip 2 are. Okay, tip number 3. Teach children what things in their environment are called by using the object's name. Ball, book, bottle, crib, rattle. These are all words that the infant is still learning, so use them. For example, oh, Waleed, you have a ball. That's great, because now Waleed is learning what the word ball is. But what would be even better is if you said something like, oh, Waleed, you have a big red ball. Did you notice how the ball rolls when you push it? So you're not only teaching Waleed the word ball, but you're also using descriptive language like big and red, and you're describing what the ball does. It rolls. All right. Tip number 4, have conversations with infants. It's okay that they're not talking back yet. Still have conversations with them. An example of this may be, oh, what did you do this morning? Really? Well, did you like it? Oh, maybe I'll have to try that. Did you notice how I left pauses in between each statement? I did that so that the infant can see that a conversation is back and forth. I'm modeling that. And they may not respond verbally. They may respond with coos, but that's okay if they don't respond. Still continue to model and show the infant how conversation is back and forth. Tip number 5, make sounds with infants. Encourage the infants to make sounds. Making sounds is the first step to forming words. When a child makes a sound, repeat that sound back to them. Maybe they say ba, and then repeat back to them, ba, ba. Encourage them to make that sound again. You can also help to encourage them to say new sounds and make new sounds. Maybe you go up to an infant and say la, la, or ga, ga, and see if you can get the child to repeat that back to you. But even if they don't end up repeating it back to you that time, still make those sounds for them. You're teaching them what those sounds are so that they can learn them and then they can start to make them and form words. All right, tip number 6, ask infants questions. You should be asking infants questions even though they usually can't respond back to and give you an answer. And that's okay. It may sound like, oh, how are you feeling today? What are you doing with that book? Oh, which stuffed animal do you like the most? Okay, tip number 7. If you can tell an infant is trying to tell you something, go ahead and say out loud what you think that child is trying to say. Maybe a child reaches towards a specific toy and they go, ah, ah. You can tell that that child wants that toy, so you say out loud, oh, it looks like you really want that blue squishy block. Or maybe it's lunchtime and a child ran out of bananas and they're really screaming. You may say something like, "Oh, it sounds like you really want some more bananas." Maybe it's about to be bottle time and a child goes up to you and reaches their arms out and says, "Bah, bah." You may say something like, "Bottle? Are you trying to say bottle? Would you like me to give you your bottle now?" So it's important to think about, with all of these tips, the importance of tone. If you say something in a positive way, it sounds very different than when you say it in a negative way. But that's a whole nother video that I can get into. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at rebecca@preschoolquality.com. I hope you have fun promoting language.